he has a way he does it, and I have a way I do it, and we just really didn't find common ground, and the results weren't there. And when Brian and Lisa are spending an exorbitant amount of money to go racing, they want to see some results.
Lynton Jeffrey is an Australian sprint car driver who, on his night, can run with the best in the world. Alongside his racing career, Linton and his brother Paul also manufacture sprint car wings through their Vortex Racing Products business. I wanted to catch up with Linton as he is not only knowledgeable but also extremely passionate about our sport. In this video, we chat about him recently changing teams, balancing business with racing, competing against customers, and how we can grow the sport. As always, if you like this content, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. And of course, if you're looking for some new merchandise to wear next time you head to a track, make sure to check out sprintcarhub.com. I hope you enjoy the video. Lynton Jeffrey, thanks for joining me on Sprint Car Hub, man. I really appreciate it. We've been talking about it for a little while to get you on, but your American season wrapped up recently. What have you been up to, and how is business at Vortex tracking along in the early part of the off season?
Well, I mean, it's good to have the season over. It was a long year, and a lot of things happened for me, a lot of big changes, and no rest for the wicked. Vortex is full steam ahead in the off season. We're just getting all our outlaw customers ready for Lucia, and we look forward to a nice Christmas break here. But at the same time, we probably won't stop a whole lot. Bit sad about Australia and Sydney, taking a little while there to get the new Sydney Eastern Creek Speedway going. I was really looking forward to coming, and it looks a little bit like it's going to be delayed again, and they mightn't even get the races in the middle of January. So it's hard to book tickets and get excited to come when we've really got a bit of a, we're not sure if it's going to happen or not. So
you're obviously pretty busy with the season starting in America in less than 2 months' time. I can imagine with all the teams, say with the World of Outlaws and All Stars and even local teams, not just in your area, but all around the country. I imagine that you've got plenty of work to do over the next 2 months.
Yeah, we've probably got enough orders here right now to take us through the end of February in our capacity of building, which is, that's a significant amount of product. But, got to be proud that we've got customers that are willing to wait that long for our product, really, and are that loyal to our company that they get their orders in this early for next year. But right now, all our outlaws and our all-star guys teams, they're our priority, and we're just trying to get all our stuff done for them.
You've been doing it for a number of years, not only racing yourself, but also with the business with your brother, Vortex Racing Products, building wings. But is it difficult for you to balance racing and business still?
I think I've had a lot of practice at it. I think that as a professional person, somebody that appreciates his customers and his business. You got to remember that Vortex is something that provided for my family. So, to put that at risk, always had to drive accordingly. I think, guys like Donny Schatz race like, I think they set a great example. There's guys out there that drive where they don't really care about their competitors, and it's, winner takes all kind of attitude. And then there's guys like me that say, well, if you're faster than me, way you go, and I'll get you back later. And I want to do it in a gentlemanly fashion. I don't have obviously if I crash my customer, he's not very happy with me, and he might choose a different brand. So it's all important that I race appropriately, and I kind of enjoy that anyway. I like the camaraderie and the respect between drivers. I think it's just a gentlemanly way to race. And let's face it, we're running the equipment's not exactly cheap; it's expensive, and it's just the way that I like to be. I figure if I'm faster than you, I'm going to drive by you anyway. So.
You recently made a decision to part with the RSR Racing team, and you're back. It looks like more of the deal that you had before. Can you tell us how and why all that happened?
Oh, 3 years with a race team is a long time in this sport.
Yeah.
You know, Ian Madsen was with KPC or KCP for such a long time. That was almost unheard of. I mean, pretty rare. But 3 years is a long time. I enjoyed my time with Brian and Lisa Ridge. Great people, great friends, great family. Still great friends of mine. Austin in anymore, really, in terms of they have a future they want to build. They want to go out on the road and race. And they really needed, I feel like they needed a more high-profile driver. And they were looking for better results than I was giving them. I mean, let's face it. I mean, I won, just as I won, they got a World of Outlaw crew chief, well-known World of Outlaw crew chief. And I had kind of held the role as setting the car up. So I've really never experienced where I've had somebody of, that came in and made all the decisions for me. And I mean, I kind of have pretty fast race cars. So there's going to be some conflict there and in the way that we were doing things, not as people. Tyler Swank's kind of a fun guy to be around and but at the end of the day, we could never mesh on what the car needed to be. He has a way he does it, and I have a way I do it, and we just really didn't find common ground. And the results weren't there. And when Brian and Lisa are spending an exorbitant amount of money to go racing, they want to see some results. I think all in all, we were having a good time. Yeah. When I stopped driving, we could see the writing on the wall, and Aaron Reitzel at the time, had more or less been let go from Roth, and I suggested that they have a chat with him and see if they could find a direction together. We sort of all knew that we'd probably go through to the end of the season, just out of respect for each other and all that kind of stuff. We're great friends, and we really parted very amicably. And we just enjoyed the other night at the Knoxville banquet, awards banquet, and we were awarded fourth in the championship, or we were finished fourth in the points at Knoxville Raceway, which is nothing to be ashamed of. So I mean, we had a great time for 3 years. I was actually kind of a partner in it, and they started with really nothing. So we came a long way to where there's quite a big race team now, and really it started as they had an engine. So I'm quite proud of how far we came and what we built. And for a guy like Aaron Reitzel, who's really one of the top fastest guys, hardest racers in the country, to kind of unseat me is nothing to be ashamed of either. It'd be much similar to Kerry Madsen or a lot of those top drivers, World of Outlaw guys that have, I think Aaron's won a couple of All-Star championships, and he won quite a number of Outlaw races last year. He's a formidable guy that really runs a race car hard. And I think that for what they spend, they deserve to have a guy like that.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome way that you've gone about it. Not many sprint car drivers and teams split so amicably. But tell us about your current deal right now. You seem pretty happy with it. Tell us a bit more detail about who's involved in that and why you think that's a good thing.
Well, Justin Webb is always the engine behind me. Justin Webb is my good friend, and he's an Australian. I mean, you've met him yourself. Come to the races. He's a terrific guy. JW Motorsports. I've basically since 2009. If I didn't have him, I wouldn't be anywhere. We're great friends. We're like brothers. We grew up together as kids. His dad was my dad's right-hand man. So we're sort of known each other our whole life. My brother, is a major part of what I do every day. And between him and Justin, we went a different course of action. And now there's a third person who has helped make it all happen too, and that's Glenn Steyer's GSR. You probably see his name on Kyle Larson, on the front wing. He's a big part of Kyle Larson's sprint car team with Paul Silver. And we've kind of gone into our own chassis business together, GSR chassis. So that's kind of was exciting. That was part of looking forward to when I was at RSR. I knew that the chassis was going to have to be part of what we were doing. And I'm excited about that. The cars have gone terrifically well. We put Brooke Tatnell in. He did 3 greasy hot laps. He ultimately went on to make the A main and finished 12th, which was, probably one of his best efforts ever. And, we were super proud for GSR, JW, everybody. And I felt really good about, what we've done and accomplished in just a short period of time. It was good for Brooke too. With all that's going on in his life, shout out to his wife Amy, who's really been battling cancer and tough lady, super tough lady, and we're super, we got a lot of support behind her, and a lot of this community, in sprint car racing, motor racing in general, just are right behind her, and we're thinking of her, and she's doing great. So tough lady.
Sprint car racing isn't really known for innovation, but like we've touched on beforehand, was that Vortex really did innovate in the sport of sprint car racing with their wing technology. And I really want to get an idea now that you're involved with the new chassis business. I know you guys have looked into with the shocks, the VSC shocks, and you're obviously, like I said, a lifer of sprint car racing. But with the wings, how do you stop others from copying your product, and how do you keep your product ahead of the game?
That's a good question. Very difficult. In today's world, very easy to reverse engineer everything. Most of our competitors on the market have done that. The way that we stay in front of that is to continue to develop constantly, to continue to work with our customers, customize, build wings that, so it's our experience in the sport to understand what the customer wants. And every wing that we build on the World of Outlaws with our teams, like you would think they were all running around on the same wing. They're not. Each driver is different. Each chassis is different. And what they need and want out of our product is essentially what they ask for. So we discuss it, we talk about it, and we try really hard to manage what they need, give them enough tools so that we can change or make variations, especially in the side panels, and give them what they want, move the wing around on the car to suit their chassis. So we work with our customers to give them the product that they need. My competitors really, they want to build one thing and just palm it out the door. Maybe some of them are good at it. Maybe some of them, they don't have, they're not like me. I race a sprint car. I understand what the driver's feeling. I understand what the crew chiefs wants to see the car doing. I understand the chassis. I've used most of them. So there's a lot of variations or variables that come into building what they need. And that a lot of it's experience. Once upon a time, we had the product that, was head and shoulders above our competitors. Most of them, emulate what we do, which only serves to give us a lot of respect in the industry. Obviously, Vortex, we probably win 60 to 70% of the outlaw races, especially in the last 10 years, every year annually. So, we win more races than all our competitors combined, let's face it. So, while we're the most expensive wing on the market, we also get the job done. So, at the end of the day, yourself, when you're racing a sprint car, there's a lot of question marks, and you want to remove as many of them as you can, just so you can get down to what's really wrong. Whether your motors are running, or your chassis working, or your crew chief's doing the job, or your shocks are working. So all those variables, they just want to eliminate. All right, do I have the right thing here? And then it comes down to quality and longevity. When you have a product that is out there and you could only really carry 4 or 5 of them around at a time on the World of Outlaws, you really need something that you don't need to be fixing and repairing every day.
Yeah.
So, you know, that quality that we build into our product is second to none, and we set the standard for the way that is. And you know, a lot of our customers really appreciate that and understand that, you know, to be out there and be organised, if they're taking hours away trying to keep things, you know, on the run, servicing or maintenance or shock development or whatever they're working on. So they, you know, when you're out on the road, you've got a limited amount of time between races, and you really got to use your time well. So the last thing they want to be doing is fixing stuff all the time.